Hello, my dear friends, my dear viewers and subscribers. Welcome to Monday Nights with Mohit Kamath, and this is the 30th episode. See, for so long we have come, isn't it? Yeah, so it's 30th episode. I just can't tell you how happy I am because it's 30 episodes. These episodes. So the journey was very good. I have learned a lot in this. So whenever I have an episode, I go through a lot of research about my topics. And sometimes when I call guests, I even research about them. It's good to know that people's achievements, what they have been doing, what kind of knowledge they have, interacting with them and reading about them. It's really good. It's fun. So tell me, how was your Monday, all of you? We have our first comment here. I think Meghna Sriram, hi sir, good evening. Absolutely, good evening. All of you must know, you must have seen the advertisement, right? So we have one of our very special guests with us, Mr. Jibi Varghese. So he has been my favorite in terms of attitude. I remember, when I joined PPBA, Prakash Purkon Badminton Academy, he was not there for a very long time, but he was there for a very short time. One thing I noticed in him and I picked up this quality from him was his attitude. If you remember, if you have seen Hindi movies, there is this, Amitabh Bachchan. There are a lot of Amitabh Bachchan's movie where he carries this, "अरे हम है तो हमारा जिंदगी है, अरे काले कहाँ पे खड़े होते हैं वहीं पे लाइन शुरू होता है," right? So that kind of attitude he had, and I really picked up that you have to really have that confidence in you, that attitude in you to outshine other people. So we have Anusha. Awesome Monday. Hope you had a good one too. Absolutely. I had a good one, but Saturday, Sunday was not that good one. I was sick. So I continued today too. Hello, Raf. Raf Scallion. Hello, how are you doing? How's the weather in London and UK? I hope it's good. I've been hearing a lot of political news. Good news for you guys, I suppose. It's been great to hear that. Yeah, so I was talking about this guest what we have today. He's amazing. I think you will love his way of understanding what the sport is. I think you will really love the way he perceives badminton, the way he helps players. Um, I mean, I'm really a good fan of him. So before we call him, I want to see some more comments here. So sorry for that. Okay, let me put my phone on the silent mode. I just forgot. Hope you guys are doing well. So, yeah, so there's been a lot of rain going on, right? It's been raining cats and dogs everywhere. The coastal belt, the western coast, and the eastern coast, everywhere it is raining. Today morning, I was talking to my father, and he was explaining that, sun has been an additional, he has been into a little more additional distance from the earth. That's why this kind of weather we have, at least in India. Oh well, and one more important thing. So those who have been into the Instagram account for this Monday night show, you will not be able to do any kind of comments. Please come to the YouTube channel or maybe even Facebook. There you can comment because Instagram doesn't allow StreamYard to have this access to having the comments. So in less than a minute, we will get our guest on board. So one of the fantastic news I would like to share is HS Prannoy again. He has been performing really well, and he apparently lost in the semifinals of the Malaysian Open 2022 to Njika Long Angus, if I've said his name right. That was a good match, but he couldn't sustain the high pace of Njika Long Angus. And we had a surprise winner. I had never heard his name. Apparently, Chico from men's singles. And even Sindhu bowed down in the early stages. Never mind, the tournaments keep happening. And how are you guys doing? Hello, all. Welcome back. I see a lot of people from Facebook account. You can keep posting comments here. And very soon, I will be getting back our guest. So we have Shruti Pai. Hello, Shruti Pai. How are you doing? If I'm not wrong, I think you are in your hometown, right? So in less than 30 seconds, I will be getting our guest on board. Hello, Jibi Bhai. कैसे हो
Hello,
आप?
Mohit. How are you? I'm fine. How are you doing?
आई एम फैंटास्टिक. बहुत खुश हुआ आपको देख के. बहुत
Thanks for
ही
inviting me.
बहुत थैंक यू. अरे इट्स माय प्लेजर. Thank you for coming and taking your time, valuable time, and coming up for our show. And बहुत सारे ऐसे
Thanks.
बैडमिंटन एंथुजियास्ट है ताकि हम आपसे कुछ सीख सके आज. So
So, 32 years
how's
in
your
the
life?
field, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
So, it's going good. It's good, going good.
So all my
Actually,
viewers
today is
here,
Monday, is my
please.
off day. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think there's some kind of lag, I believe. I'll just ask some of my
Yeah.
viewers here. So if you can hear us clearly, please give a thumbs up, or if you have any disturbance, so please let us know so that we can correct our technicalities here. Okay. So it's been 32 years for you in badminton. That's a long thing. I'm 35. I think 3 years. My age is 35. I think you're almost there. So how was the journey, GB Bhaiya?
So, journey was, I would like to say, is outstanding till now. I
Yeah.
just wanted to play. Doesn't matter any game. So, I used to play all games. So badminton was not my first choice, but I used to play all games: football, cricket, tennis, table tennis, kabaddi, kho, or whichever. But I used to love to be on the playground. So, but suddenly one fine year, we traveled to Mumbai
Hmm.
with to my relatives. So there they
Yeah.
used to play out. In Mumbai they used to play outdoor badminton.
Okay.
So in the
Yeah.
outdoor badminton and all, and the night, the lights and all the family coming, watching the game. Actually, the court was built inside a small colony. It
Hmm.
was all mud and all, and these guys used to play badminton in that. And there was so much of crowd shouting, so much of enthusiasm. So I fell in love with the game at that point of time.
Wow, that's good to know. We have
And after
one
that,
more guest, I think.
yeah,
Shrish Kashyap. Hi, Shrish Kashyap. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I think even हिंदी से भी बात कर सकते हैं. कोई problem नहीं है. I
yeah, no
think
issues, no
whichever.
issues. I can do.
Yeah.
I am comfortable in both.
Oh, fantastic. I think we will mix because we have certain people from English background and we have Hindi background too. I think both will be fine.
Yes.
It'll be good to have both English and Hindi. तो आपका
So I
बैडमिंटन वहां से स्टार्ट हो गया कि सब
start
लोग
off.
देख
Yes.
रहे थे और आपने वहां से स्टार्ट हो गया पर आपको कभी लगा कि हाँ यही मेरा इसी को खेलना है इसी को जिंदगी भर के साथ जुड़ा रहना है.
See, actually, when I started, I didn't have anything. I just wanted to enjoy. So I attended a summer camp. So from there, I
Okay.
didn't know anything. I won the tournament, district tournament, went on
Nice.
to play the state championships. And from there, for first tournament, I didn't know anything. And the state championship, I lost in the first round and I was thrashed badly.
What was this
So
age?
I was 10 years old.
Okay.
So when I lost very badly, so I felt no, yeah, I am playing this game. At least I should play at some level so that I should feel happy. So then I
Hmm.
started working hard, training and everything. So then the next tournament, the next state, I reached semi-finals. That was at that time Madhya Pradesh. That was combined MP, not MP and Chhattisgarh was not separated.
Understood. Yeah.
So that time I then played up to class 8. Then as you know, what the parents like that, you go into studies. So 2 3 years I didn't play. Then
Okay.
again my parents found out he has got interest in that and he has no interest in studies. So said, okay, we'll give you the time till graduation. If you do well,
Okay.
then you can continue with that. So I
So
didn't think twice.
so that was your motivation, where your parents had given you a kind of a feast कि अरे
Yes,
ये लड्डू ले लो आप, और अगर ये आपने ठीक से किया तो वो मिलेगा.
yes,
Nice,
yes,
nice to know that.
yes. So then from there, no looking back. So I started playing professionally. But at that time, we had a lot of senior players. At that time, coaching was not of much of in circulation kind of thing. I used to senior player used to
Yeah.
play. We used to watch them and play, and just like
Hmm.
that. In the year 1999, so I was representing Madhya Pradesh. So I
Hmm.
remember like that time I asked PPB to join. They said no, that we don't take an 18, 19-year-old player. We are focusing more on the junior lot. So I said
Okay.
okay. So I remember I lost in second round. I was thrashed badly by Nikhil Kanetkar. So I was very sad and depressed because I wanted to play and didn't have any coaching. I just was the senior players play with them, and whatever they said I used to
Hmm.
do. But there was no
Okay.
specific thing how to do. So at that time, one of the
Hmm.
seniors introduced me to Arif sir, SM
Okay.
Arif, Padma Shri Award is my
Yes, the
teacher,
man, the
teacher.
legend. Yeah.
Yeah. So so he told me this problem. So very reluctantly he said, "Okay, you come for 2 months." So when I called him in the summer, he didn't remember me who I was. He had forgotten that one person had asked for the admission, and also I made him remembered. Okay, he said, "Okay, come back." So from there things changed. When I reached there, I came to know I played wrong badminton for
All
past
the while.
all the way 9 10 years. So
Okay.
at the age of 20, I got the first taste of coaching.
Yeah.
So at that time, I decided if the moment I stop playing badminton, I'll get
Hmm.
back into coaching. I'll try to give as much as I can, which I couldn't get due to the lack of facilities, lack of coaches, and everything.
Absolutely. So that was my question. I think you answered that. But also see, हमारे देश में कोई कमी नहीं है टैलेंट की. अगर ऐसे ही देखा जाए तो बहुत ही टैलेंटेड है. पर अभी आपने जैसे बोला कि अगर आपका हमने एग्जांपल लिया, so you played when you said that 10 years you played wrong badminton, which means there was no polishing for you from someone who could say यहाँ पे ऐसे करना चाहिए, वहाँ पे वैसे करना चाहिए. That guidance was not there. And now players like you, GB Bhaiya, so you are getting into that zone of Maharashtra or Chhattisgarh, wherever you are. So people have that access to the right kind of environment from coaching perspective. कि अगर हम यहाँ पे गए तो 10 साल जैसे आपका आपने खोया है, तो वो 10 साल कोई और नहीं खोएगा. So I think it's a very great thing from your location there. So people have the access to one of the great coach like you, and have that kind of environment you provide. And viewers all here, I would like to share this thing, that there are multiple players where the players have been achieving in the state, national, and international levels from GB Bhaiya's academy. So one of the prominent player was Mugdha Agre. So she was a junior national champion, if I'm not wrong. And there was Anura Prabhudesai, who got qualified in the Uber team some time back. So
Hmm.
also I would like to keep open the floor for all the people here who wants to ask any kind of question. As today's topic, you can see on I think down there below GBYA, it's about badminton coaching. Who is a coach? Nurturing players. So that's the topic we are going through. So the floor is open. So we have, I think, certain people from your region also. Mr. Alan Thomas is saying, "So good to see you, sir." I think you can say some words for them.
Yeah, thanks, Alan. Thanks. That's good to see you too. I can't see, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We have Sujal Sadwani saying good
Yeah,
evening,
good
sir, for
evening.
you.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah. So I have some questions for you, GB Bhaiya. So this is something which has related for my badminton coaching also. So what do you think about
Yes.
badminton coaching in our country? Where do you think in the next 10 years badminton coaching will be?
Right now, uh, the coaching part is a little less compared to what it is required. So we have good coaches, but the quantity is very less compared to what the players we are producing now. In our
Mhm.
time, there were very less players who were playing at the top 50, top 30. So at that
Yeah.
time, coaches were also limited. So that time they were able to manage. Now you see many players are in top 50 in men's, many players are in top 50 in women's singles,
Yeah.
doubles as well as mixed doubles. So now the number of players have increased. So the number of coaches also should increase.
Yeah.
The problem with what I feel is my personal opinion. See, like there are three stages of playing. Fortunately, lucky to say, I've been all three part of that. That is the basic stage, that is the intermediate stage, and that is the advanced stage.
Okay.
So for the coaches also, you have to go through that. When I stopped playing badminton, I was at the peak, so I had to go back to the basics. So nowadays, no one is ready to get back to the basics because without basics, you can't develop the next level of players. So whatever
Absolutely.
you're building, that is you're building in reverse pyramid. If the pyramid
Yeah.
base has to be very big, very big. So as
Yeah.
a coach also and as a player also, there is three phases where the coach in the basic stage is more of a teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, and he teaches more and anticipates more because the kids are unable to tell what they're feeling and what they think
Yes.
at the young age. They are very uh, young and they are unable to understand many of the things. So you have to
Correct.
assume and judge many things, and then you have to just try to teach them in their own way how they feel
Yeah.
comfortable. Second stage
Correct.
is the intermediate stage where 50-50 part comes, where teaching also comes, plus the person who is taking the coaching is also able to understand many of the things. So it is
Technical
it is it
aspects and
is
all. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it is all equal part where the teacher has to transform into coach and a guide. And the
Yeah.
third part is the advanced level where the result comes, where the teacher has now to transform from coach and guide to mentor and friend.
Yeah.
So these three stages you have to cross. In coaching of 12 years, when I started coaching, resigning from railways, I still many people say, why did you leave railways and why you resigned from railways? You got a good job and you started coaching. The trauma which I faced of 10 years, that I played wrong and I had to correct that for 3.5 years, providing to play the tournaments with that.
Correct.
So with that over trying, I suffered a lot of injuries, lot of problems for the correction
Yeah.
part and everything. So these three phases everyone has to go through as a coach and as a player. So for that to
Players. Yeah.
perform to yeah to get performance at the national level, it takes around 5 to 6 years,
Correct.
and to get performance at the international level, it takes around 10 years.
Yeah.
So you
Overall.
have to yeah to you start from it's a for a good coach. There has to be a certain set of plans for the basic level, for the intermediate level, and to reach the advanced level. The
Correct.
most of the players and the parents are confused. Am I at the right place? Am I at the correct coach? Am I doing correctly? So the players and the parents have to take care of one thing, that is there any plan set for the players? and you have to work as a team,
Absolutely.
as a parent, coach, and player. So the parents and the players have to see whether the plan what has been said is being executed or not, whatever result may be.
Yeah.
Result can be anything, because result can change, plus minus can happen, that is okay. But the thing is that, are you able,
Yeah.
what has been said by the coach is being executed or not? If it is being
Yeah.
executed, then you will come to know what is correct and what is wrong.
Absolutely. No, this actually, sorry to break you here,
Yeah, yeah,
but
no issue.
I met a very prominent player in early 2000 era, and he's into coaching right now. He was working in a bank and he got retired. And I was just casually talking to him about coaching, how parents are, what are the mindsets. I really like to pick up certain topics of badminton with other coaches and other players, so that I'll understand what kind of perception they have towards badminton. And one thing he mentioned, which kind of really disturbed me, was that he mentioned that there are hundreds of childrens in my academy, which I have decided that it will be for commercial purpose. I really didn't get that. मेरे को लगा कि कमर्शियल मतलब क्या है, ये एग्जैक्टली वर्ड क्या है, मतलब वो उससे हमारा एकेडमी चलेगा, पैसा आएगा। आई टोल्ड देम, अगर एबीसीडी ठीक से नहीं मिलेगा, आपको लगता है वो लोग फिफ्थ स्टैंडर्ड या टेंथ स्टैंडर्ड पे अच्छे मार्क्स स्कोर करेंगे? He got at that point, but he refused to answer, and that conversation went somewhere else. जैसे आपने बताया कि ये जो 3 फेजेस है, बिगिनर्स, इंटरमीडिएट और एडवांस, और बिगिनर्स, इंटरमीडिएट और एडवांस, एलीट और हाई परफॉर्मेंस जो भी है, ये बेसिक में उनको वो गेम का जो टेक्निक्स होता है और ट्रेनिंग कैसे करते हैं, लर्न टू ट्रेन, इट्स नॉट अबाउट ट्रेनिंग ऑलवेज, लर्न टू ट्रेन, वो ट्रेनिंग कैसे करना है, वो भी एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज है, वो कमर्शियल नहीं है। ये ऐसे ही मेरे को दिमाग में है कि बहुत सारे कोचेस को भी ऐसा लगता है कि सिर्फ वहां पे परफॉर्म करोगे, नेशनल्स इंटरनेशनल पे परफॉर्म करोगे तो ही आप अच्छे प्लेयर हो। पर ये क्या है, मतलब बेसिक में ये ब- जैसे आपने बताया कि वो पिरामिड है, तो वहां पे जितना हम फाउंडेशन ठीक ठीक से डालेंगे तो वही तो आपको काम करेगा। दैट रियली स्टक मी नाउ, जैसे आपने बताया था।
Yes, you're absolutely correct, Mohit. So that is what why I answered your first question, ki where we will be in 10 years. So in 10
हम्म।
years, it depends on how the other people take coaching. See, I have
या।
seen many of the great coaches saying coaching is a thankless job, but I completely disagree with that.
हम्म।
Why?
प्लीज
Because
इलेबोरेट।
because see, if you're into coaching for your passion, so no one should thank you for your passion. Am I right?
Absolutely. That's a good
And
one.
if
I think all of you agree here. Please give me a thumbs up if you agree. And I can, please be more, active. You can post some questions. You have any questions for us, please let us know.
and
Yeah,
if
go
you're
on.
doing it professionally, like you said, for money, so you're already given the
The
services and you're getting
remuneration.
paid
Yeah,
for that. So why
absolutely.
should you should be giving thank you to them rather than getting a thank you?
That's a
So
fantastic one. Yeah.
so everyone who says that coaching, and many of the people come and say, "अरे मैंने उसके लिए इतना किया, मैंने इसके लिए इतना किया." See, people will come and go.
Yeah.
So like teachers also will come and go.
Yeah.
So as a school teacher, as a middle school teacher, as a higher secondary teacher, as a college teacher, your work is to give them knowledge as much as you can.
Absolutely. This is a fantastic giveaway, because it really changed my perspective today. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, because that what came across a lot of coaches who saying, "अरे वो मैं इतना किया, वो छोड़ के चला गया, मैं इतना किया, छोड़ के चला गया, they did that, did this, did that." So this is very part and parcel of the thing, and I am happy that I am able to see my friends. I am telling you, I've got my childhood friends. I'm not of much of a interactive person on WhatsApp and
Hmm.
everything, but I am in
Yeah.
one group which is my class one group, which from the middle school group. So
Okay.
I like to see that
I think we lost you for some time when you were mentioning about your friends.
Yeah. So my friends, the childhood friends, we are in a WhatsApp group. I'm not in very much active in WhatsApp and all. But
Hmm.
my childhood friends, they who know me from class 11,
Hmm.
they say, yes, you're so lucky to be associated with the thing which you love from the beginning itself. So
Yeah.
I am so happy. Many of them are IITs, many of them are chartered accountant, many of them in some big post, someone in army, someone in big government job, but they still talk to me. They are so proud of me. They say you're so lucky that you're still following what you're doing from the childhood. So this is what I
So,
feel.
well, that's a great perspective, because I keep hearing this, and I have even faced in my coaching career. There was one time, the first year, there was one player who suddenly became All India number one, and they came to me not even to say that thank you. They just came to me saying that we are leaving the academy, and that was very disturbing for the first time. But as time passed by, I got to know. I spoke to Vimal sir and Gopi sir. They gave the same perspective. It's think of it like a school. People come and people will go, and you just be happy and give as much as possible for them. I think we'll just go through some of the comment section. Uh, Ashok Lavange and Sadish Vadivelu has been constantly giving up thumbs up for us. Thank you so much for being proactive. I think Sadish Vadivelu has been saying also, alas, hearing someone who is sensitive. He's been coaching here in Bangalore is mostly a scam. I partly agree with you, Sadish, because there are a lot of people who came into coaching for quick bucks, 10 to 20 grands, because the courts are, number of courts have come up. I think more than 400, 500 stadiums have come up. I think if you talk about courts, I want to share this to you, Jivaya. So they counted, there is a app called Playo. I don't know whether you have heard of no.
No, I haven't heard.
So with their data, they are saying 4,000 badminton courts, what they know, and there are courts which has been not registered as to the association or to these kind of people, corporate people. I think it could be more than 5,000 or 6,000. So for there, there are a lot of gym instructors, hockey instructors, physical teachers who just come and give that coaching. They don't really have the knowledge of badminton sport. So I think that is what Mr. Sadish is mentioning. But there are good coaches, good academies in Bangalore too. So Praveen
Uh,
Kumar is saying,
hi,
"Hi GB
hi,
sir."
Praveen. How are you?
Cool. So let's move to the next topic, GB Bhaiya.
Yes.
What are the qualities of a good coach? And I want all viewers here to also give us that qualities. What do you feel? What you want to ask us. I think you can say one quality, then I will say one quality, and maybe we will let our people decide on this. So, what are the good qualities of a coach?
I can say in actually two things. One is
Hmm.
adaptability, and second is
Okay.
patience. When I
Patience,
started,
yes.
when I started coaching, so I asked Arif sir. Because I was leaving railways as a central government job,
Hmm.
so everyone was against that. Even still, my parents scold me while left railways. So, so I asked Arif sir one thing. So, what is the key essence of coaching?
Okay.
He said only one thing: patience.
Okay.
So in Hindi, can I say one? He said one
Yeah, yeah.
in one line to me. So he said, "Beta," he said he used to be Baba. He's calling Baba. Baba, मील के पत्थर तो बहुत मिलेंगे, मंजिल पर एक ही होगी करके. So I didn't understood at that particular time.
Okay.
So the thing he basically said what you have to have patience. The player which you think is going to perform, which you feel that this person is going to uh, which is going to hi Priyam, which is going to give result, that person may or may not perform.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
the
So I think yeah, sorry, go on.
so the patience, the first thing which I suffered badly when I started from, because I was playing at the top. I left badminton. The transformation took me 3 years from a player to coach. It was very rough because I was expecting many things to happen in very few years. So that patience part I came to understand in the first 3 years.
Okay.
So after that, everything I asked many last year only, after the COVID, the first tournament happened in Bangalore,
Hmm.
international tournament. So I was there in PPBA for a week prior because our students haven't played any international tournament from past 1.5 years. So I took 3-4 students of who were participating there. So I had a chat with Vimal
Okay.
sir. So he said, "So how I asked him how you keep yourself motivated because you have got such a big name and everything." He
Yeah.
said, "Just come there and enjoy, man, and just as usual, say, come there, enjoy, and do whatever you like, and then just keep on doing that." So it's simple. Just like to live life, you have to breathe. Just keep on breathing the same way. Just come and
Yeah.
enjoy, and every day results may come, results may vary.
Yeah.
Result doesn't matter.
So this is something which even I asked. We had a 25-year celebration with PPBA. I think we all missed you there. Some of them were not there. I asked him, how do you keep motivated yourself every day? हर सुबह आते हो, हर शाम तक रहते हो, कैसे? He said the same thing, just like how world day and night होता है. ऐसे ही सोचो और come and and he also said that this is a पुण्य का काम है. I feel really honored to build these children who in from badminton, but I would like them to be the best human beings when they enter their livelihoods. I think that was one of the best qualities. So my qualities of a good coach is one is passion. अगर ये चीज में है ना कोचिंग में पैशन अगर नहीं है तो 6 घंटा 8 घंटा खड़ा होके करने का बहुत ही मुश्किल है. यू नीड टू लव द स्पोर्ट, यू नीड टू हैव दैट पैशन. एंड द सेकेंड वन इज यू हैव टू बी अ गुड लिसनर. अगर आप प्लेयर्स का सुनोगे नहीं, अपने आप पे कुछ करते ही जा रहे हो, अपना टेक्स्ट बुक जैसा पढ़ते ही जा रहे हो, so I think that is not a good way of coaching. I want all the viewers also to post what are the qualities of a good coach. What do you want a good coach to have a quality?
I think one more thing I wanted to say is I answered your question in that also, the adaptability and the patience part. So
Yeah,
patience and adaptability requires all of the things which requires in a good coach.
yeah,
So this is what I feel, because the coaching part will always be there. So giving coaching, and you learn many new things every day with a new kind of players, their thinking and their mentality.
absolutely. Yeah.
So these two things actually cover a lot of things. That is why I said only two things.
No, we have a lot of things. I have noted down at least 18 points, but we will answer people here. So Kundan is saying coach should go through proper training program. I have seen many coaches, they just come and give whatever drills and go back. This is where the passion comes, I think. They don't have load program off courts or on court, etc. Hope you got it. Absolutely, I got it. You can go on first, GB Bhaiya.
No, he's absolutely correct. So that is what I mentioned earlier. The transformation from player to coach, it is difficult. So that transformation, the training program at the grassroots level helps them. So what I said in the beginning, when started coaching, I shifted from a top elite player. I went back to the basics.
Hmm.
So learning the basics is much important, because when you're training a 10-year-old or 11-year-old, you
Yeah,
should be able to stand with the same ear that the 10-year-old or 11-year-old has. Kundan Yadav is absolutely correct in saying this. There has to be set of
absolutely. Yeah.
programs. The idea has to be there. That is what I said is there needs to be a plan. You have to see the plan has to be executed. Results may vary.
Absolutely. And also, I would like to add on to what you're saying. A
Yeah.
coach has to also reflect, after the coaching session, they have to reflect key, they have to ask certain questions to the students. How was it? What did you learn out of it? what was the situation you felt that this is something I need to take away. So now having that interaction post the session will also give us a feedback कि हाँ ये उनको वो लोग क्या सोच के आए थे, what kind of mindset they had in today before the session, and how much they could take away from this session. I think reflection also helps a lot.
Yeah, exactly. You need to, so that is where you will be able to adapt, and then the patience comes with that. If you don't have the
Yeah,
patience to listen, to execute and the plan what you have done, so it takes time to get understand the basics. It takes around 3.5 years.
yeah,
Because see,
true.
suppose you just give an example. Suppose a player starts at the age of 10.
Yeah,
So what I said, it takes around 10 to 11 years to perform at the international level. So during this
correct.
10 to 11 years, so what happens is there are a lot of physical changes, physiological changes,
Yeah,
psychological changes, body transformation, the lifestyle changes. A lot of thing happens. So
absolutely.
to get through all these things, it takes time.
Yeah.
So
So
many a time,
pages.
uh, many a time, people, the players, the parents, even the coaches. I am telling you, you must have overcome a lot of parents and players who are restless to get results. But I have
Yes, and
seen
I
more.
live I live in an urban area, so that is 99% for me all the time.
But I'm telling you, well, I'm not supposed to tell you, but getting my giving my opinion in this. See, the players and the parents. If the coaches are more eager to perform, so there will be no plan, no execution, and the parents and the players will want the results as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
So that is why I said in the beginning there has to be a clear plan, maybe for a basic level, maybe for an intermediate level, maybe for an advanced level. So if the plan is being executed, things may not come, the results may not come accordingly, but it will be
yeah,
19 20 plus 19, like that will be. In Hindi mein भी से ना 19 20 होगा, but
correct,
at least you will come to know where you are. The problem
correct,
is the coaches doesn't know where they are. They don't tell the students where they are, and
correct.
they project a data that is practically not impossible. Many of the players who come to me, I won't say the name. 2 3 players came to me in 2024. I want to play the Olympics. 2028, I want to play the Olympics. This is this is 2 6 years back, 2 3 years back. So
Mm.
I give them the reverse data. So suppose you are in playing to 2028 Olympics. So where you need to be? You need to be in top 10, top 12.
Yeah,
So in 2027, you need to be somewhere around top 25, top 30.
yeah.
So reverse, when it goes,
Reverse
then
it.
they
Yeah,
come to know the practically it is not. So the practically it is not possible. So many time coaches who are over eager, like some coaches maybe commercially wanting to
mm.
keep the students them with themselves, or
Mm.
maybe they want results as quickly as possible. So they don't project the plan correctly.
Mm.
They don't why they don't able are not able to project the plan correctly is because they don't know where they are right now, or where the players is right now. So when they come to, they are at
Correct,
this particular, when suppose a player is playing at a district level, so they have to realize ki the player is at the district level, so how much time it is going to take them to go to that level where they are projecting.
correct.
Like
So give them a map,
yes,
give them a map, and we'll also go through the next question. Sadish Vadivelu. So a good coach puts his students
yes,
first
yes.
and does not have ego. Absolutely. Nurtures talent in an unbiased manner, which is 100%. Focus on process passionately than the results. Very good. And then fourth, open to questioning and learning. So this is what I think we already discussed. You have
Yes,
something to
absolutely
say,
correct.
GB Bhai, in the first three?
So he is absolutely correct. So this is where all the part comes of planning, preparation, execution, and then so when you reach this level, the result part comes at the advanced level. So if you expect the players to get to the results at the basic level and intermediate level, they are being misguided. The result
Yeah,
part comes at the advanced level. So
correct.
advanced level comes at around 4 to 5 years of playing consistently at one
Yes.
place.
Consistently, that is the highlighted word.
Consistently at one place. Many of the coaches have been saying it doesn't require to be a great player to be a great coach. I agree with that,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
definitely feel a good. At least you should be a good player because you won't be able to develop great players all the time. But there will be a lot of good and very good players. So at least you should be a good player to understand how does it feel when you play a match,
exactly.
what temperament it requires
Yeah, the feel
to
of it.
feel of it. So I feel you shouldn't be a great player, but you should be at least a good player to understand the psychology of the player who is playing the tournament. Otherwise, if people sitting in outside say, "अरे क्या ये बाहर मार दिया?" So easy shot
Hmm.
you missed. But at that time, in this angle, what how the pressure is there, how the lightings are there, how the shuttles are there, the banner, how the is the banner
Drift,
drift, and a lot of things are
drift.
coming. Yeah, many of the things which so the player who has played at that level will be able to understand.
Yeah.
So
No,
this
there are
is what
times
I feel.
also. There are times also, GB Bhaiya, I remember. It's called trial and error. There are certain personalities where I was like that. Initially in the nationals and even when I entered the international scenario, I wanted to try few things. Somewhere on the odd angle, I wanted to hit a good shot overhead to the cross court. That was my nature. I am like a activist. I like to learn, make mistakes, and then try it and figure out some new things about that. So that was my personality. And there are people like this when they play the tournament. They often do that. It doesn't mean that they are not good or they are bad and they did something wrong. It is a trial and error, right? So we have a couple of more questions also. Yeah. So by Vicky Harsha. Hello, coach should have patience, discipline, passion with experience. I think experience is one of the good factor which we missed. Thank you, Harsha, for that. So this is something interesting, GB Bhaiya. Coach should encourage different ideas from the kids while playing. What do you think?
These all things are absolutely correct. The but you can't miss the basics part.
Yeah,
The
I
basic
was about to
has
say
to be
that. Yeah.
yeah, the basics has to be taught to all the players as well as all the coaches who are in coaching also. If you don't put the base correct, so you suppose you are building a foundation, you're trying to build a three-story building. The foundation has to be at least three-story to withstand the pressures of the ground and
More number
the
of floors. Yeah,
yeah. So the same goes with the playing part also. The more the base is strong, the more the results chances of results are there. See, when I started coaching, I didn't have any idea. So I when I started, I said, okay, it should result should come. So I
yeah,
told you the transition from a player to coach is very difficult, and many of the players who come into coaching are unable to transit from player to coach. That is where basics comes.
yeah,
You have to get back to the basics.
yeah,
So our academy has produced somewhere around 35 plus state titles, 5 national titles, and 5 international medals. But these are things all were not planned.
yeah.
The idea was only to how to take step by step action. What are the basics? What should be the basics? What should be the next step in the intermediate level? And if the person reaches the advanced level, what should be our step? So this was the planning which we tried and we executed. I wouldn't say we have
Mm.
done it very perfectly, but
Mhm.
I would, if I give myself a rating, I would give myself at least 6.5, 7, which I'm still trying to improve out of 10.
Yeah, that was a nice answer. Even I wanted to add on the same things. Kids while playing, so it all depends on which level they are in. If they're in advanced level, in some days, apart from the planning, they are kids. There are a lot of hormonal changes, as we spoke about that. Physiological changes will be happening. एक कुछ दिन तो ऐसा रहता है कि हाँ छोड़ दो, कर लो तुम तो जो चाहिए कर लो. That kind of things sometimes we'll have to allow them to happen. So we have a question with Manish Kashyap. I think he's from your network. Hi GB, I think players play more by mind in court, and
Yeah.
who knows better than you, as you are a strong, I think, leader or coach in their reading their minds. Another quality a coach must have. Absolutely, that's a fantastic feedback, Manish Kashyap. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, Manish Kashyap. So thank you for that input. I would like to share one of my experience. I hope I can share.
Please, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, please.
so what happened when I just started coaching?
Hmm.
So when I started coaching, I was in an all India tournament.
Okay.
So one of my students, he was playing. So it was one game all.
Hmm.
So I said so many things to the player. You should do this. You try to catch him there, catch him. Do this, do that, do this. By the time I came back, I got confused what I said.
Okay.
So this so, so this is what I understood is whatever things you are trying to teach the players has to be very, whatever you are preaching during the matches has to be
Yeah.
very clear and specific. The clear and specific instruction can be only given if you are practicing clear and specifically according to the plan. So
Yeah.
if you don't have any plan, if you don't have how to get transit from a beginners to an advanced, how much time it is going to take from, so parents will get excited. Parents will get
Yes.
worried, what is happening, why he's doing everything, he's training, he's doing practice, he's doing all the things, but why he's not performing.
Yeah.
So these all things come in the mind. So the plan has to be
Yeah.
clear. It takes this much of time, this much
Yeah.
it'll take. Results may vary.
Y- Yeah. So result sometimes has to be measurable. Like for example, when a kid is playing into the intermediate level and they've just started playing an all India tournament, we cannot expect them to directly go and qualify or beat a good player or upset a seeded player. It's very rare unless the player himself or herself has that quality. Maybe 1 in 100 people will have that quality, or maybe the time will be such that the seeded player might not be in a right condition to play. उस समय में अगर आप मिल गए तो upset हो सकता है, but still that is not something which we should take it as a great win, but something which happened instantly. Recently, I found out this, that players have this exceptional demand in themselves. किसी ने नहीं बोला है, but some of the players, they have in themselves कि I want to go and do really well in the tournament. This will not happen unless you have done those things practiced in your regular sessions rigorously.
Absolutely.
That's all of a sudden it will not come there. And as coaches, sometimes my formulas sometimes I use, when that 11 all happens or 19 all happens, or the game side over happens. So I usually don't go and tell them, you have to do this, you have to do that. What's running in your mind? What did you do? How did you win? If they have won the match, how do you think you have won this? Based on that, I would like to give a feedback which is for them able to apply on court. If I say something which is not in their control, which is not ever tried before, तो वही हो गया ना कि उनको पता भी नहीं है, और टेंथ वो 8th स्टैंडर्ड में है और 10th स्टैंडर्ड का सब्जेक्ट मिल गया उनको. हाउ विल दे सॉल्व? So coach should also know a player well, that what they can execute in that particular tournament में प्रेशर के मोमेंट पे, वरना वो मिसमैच हो जाएगा.
See,
So we
I
have
just wanted to add one more thing in this. The coach, like the person in the beginning, he said, coach needs to identify the player, how he handles the training and how he handles the playing tournament. See, these both things are completely different. Some players play very well in the practice and they are unable to perform in the tournament. Some of them they hardly practice, they are unable to execute what they are trying to do, but they are able to execute during the matches because of the temperament. So there you have to understand and differentiate how to patch the things so that both of them doesn't get completely mismatch. A person who is unable to perform
Correct.
during the tournament, you have to give them the training according to that, so
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
they're able to convert. And the person who is able to
Yes.
perform in the tournament, you have to practice them in this way so they're not missing the basics and the rest of the things, so that their growth will go for a longer period rather than for a shorter period, like
Absolutely.
they were
Yeah.
performing for a small period of time.
Absolutely. That was fantastic addition, Bhaiya. That's great. So we have Ra- Rayali Bharadwaj. How important is mental health in sports? What Virat Kohli is going through, it's so difficult. Yeah, I know. And this is something, GB Bhaiya, is very neglected thing. Was neglected thing until you remember. We never had this mental trainer or psychological coach the way आजकल available है. We never had that. Okay, आप how do you see that? आप कैसे देखते हो इसको? To
See, in
Rayali's
our time, things
question.
were not available. Most of the things, so you have to struggle for a lot of things. So when you have to struggle for a lot of things, you are absolutely strong there because you came up in a fighting process. See,
Yeah,
right now in my academy, we have got 4 courts. We have got a gym. We have got a physio room, a training ground, and everything like that. In our time, 4 courts was a privilege. You used to have national championship in that. It's a luxury in my playing times,
yeah,
having a
yeah,
4 court. So what happens is many a times when you get things very easily, your ability
yeah,
of fighting back is much lesser than what generally people try to do. So when you provide
yeah,
them many things at ease, so the mental pressure comes because everything you are getting. So the motivation part goes on missing, because without any stress and pressure, you're having a good racket, good shoes, you're getting a good coach, everything is there, but still
yeah,
many of the players are unable to perform. So regarding the
yeah,
mental health, it is starting from the basics. You see, if you know the basics, so when at a certain point of time you're going to get stagnated,
yeah.
so the plateau will come. So if you know the basics, you will come back to the basics and correct and come back again.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah,
if you don't know the basics, you will always get frustrated because you won't come back to the basics, you will try to go up. So at the
yeah,
top level, less less of less very very less of coaching is required. so
yeah.
so because the less of coaching, the more number of performance. The more of
Hmm.
coaching at the top level, we won't give you the results.
There's something new. And even do you think the expectation management also needs to, set very carefully, individually, and realistic, time bound? Because क्या होता है, let's say Virat Kohli example, they all say he is the best batsman. He can even beat Sachin Tendulkar's record, ABCD, blah blah blah. वो ऑटोमेटिकली अंदर ऐसे आ जाता है बिकॉज योर एक्सट्रिंसिक एनवायरनमेंट एंड योर इंट्रिंसिक एनवायरनमेंट बिकम्स सो वाइब्रेबल वाइब्रेंट कि तुमको वो हर हाल में परफॉर्म करना ही है अपने आप को प्रूव करने के लिए और पीपल अराउंड यू सो देन व्हाट हैपेंस द मेंटली यू विल गेट अंडर दैट प्रेशर कि होना ही है आई जस्ट वांट टू डू इट एंड व्हेन इट डजंट हैपन the whole world will be upside down for you. So do you think that expectation also has to be set properly, and then if doesn't happen, leave it and look for the future?
Um, so I will add things in which topic you said is, there are actually, for a sports person, 3 types of fears. which generally a sports person faces.
Hmm.
One is fear of failure, second is fear of expectations, and third fear, which comes at the top level, that is fear of higher prize money tournament or prestigious tournament, which all the top players are facing. So at the intermediate level and the at the beginners level, you face the first two fears,
Hmm.
and the combination of that two fears becomes the third fear at the top level. So that has to be handled in certain way. So if I asked Arif sir the same thing when I was with him. So I asked him how to get through this part. So he said in cricket in London, so there is some place there is called the basic schools. So he said
Hmm.
many top players, when they're out of form, when they are unable to perform and they are unable to, so they go to that school of basics where they
Okay.
correct their stance, where they correct their shoulder, elbow, and everything.
True.
So
Yeah.
everything what is connected, what I said is whenever you are stuck someplace, you have to get back to the basics.
Yeah.
So when you go back to the basics, you will find the root cause. Otherwise, you will never find the root cause, and you will try to
Root cause.
experiment and implement many things, and then it may not click. But
Yeah.
for being at the top, you need to be at the basics has to be a correct thing.
Yeah. So a reapproach. You're saying that, get into the basic level, even create a hollow mindset, and then, understand the ground realities. Very true. So viewers, we will only take last two more questions. So one is from Ikea Shetty. This is a very tricky question. Uh, which one should we choose? A small coaching center with a good coach, with a lot of passion, or a big academy with big names?
So I guess Shetty, that's a very good question for both of us. So
Yeah.
I can it can be it can be both ways also. There are two sides of the coin always. So one side which you said that there are a lot of the thing in the country and many other things are going on like this. Where you have a lot of players, you can achieve many things. But I just want to contradict on that one is, if you have heard the name of, I think, Carolina Marin.
Yeah.
So I think everyone knows. So she trains in Spain. She travels here there sometime for sparring here and there. So to
Yeah.
perform in the tournament, match temperament will develop while only playing matches. Lot of players, lot see two of the things can be tricky. So you have to be very clear in what you want. So many a times, lot of players who are playing in academies they perform. And there's one example like Carolina Marin.
Yeah.
In Spain, there are not less a lot number of players who
There
are
are many
playing at that.
examples. There are many
Yeah,
examples. Taizui, she plays with
as a,
one coach and two players. There are a lot of examples like this. Yeah.
so it depends on how you are comfortable in that coaching. So many in the from the beginning only I believed that lot of players like Mohit told earlier. So I was with PPV also. I was with Arif sir also. So there are a lot of players playing, but the performance part will come when you are ready, and that ready part you won't be able to know unless and until you play the tournaments.
Yeah.
How much of tuition do you take? Unless and until you give an exam, you won't come to know how much you learned.
Yeah.
So more you play the tournament, the temperament will develop.
Yeah.
So the result will come accordingly to that, and with the corrections and everything. So it depends on you where you want to go. If you're comfortable with lot of big academies, big names, That is up to you. Or you are happy with like Carolina Marine and Tai Ying, you're happy with the individual coaching and you're happy with that. So it depends completely on you how you take.
Absolutely. So I would like to add upon two things, so which I have realized as a player as well as coach. There are many things to say, but I would only point out one on each side. Choosing a small coaching center. I wouldn't say a coaching center. You can just choose a coach, and be with him for a very long time, just to make sure that you understand his style of coaching, and the coach understand exactly what you need, what needs to be developed in terms of technique, tactic, in terms of your fitness, in terms of your mental strength, whatever it is, who can really spend some time with you. And the second part is, big academy and big names also gives you certain exposure. You can go to an exposure trip like 10 days just to play games, or maybe 15 days or a 1 month or a 45 days of period. It may not be only in India. You can go anywhere else, so that you just go out of this training format and experience a new format which will help you in one or two or other things. And maybe sometimes you can understand the environment there, play with different lots of players, maybe 20, 30 different players, and then you understand where you stand in and what you need to do. You can come back and you can talk to your coach, and then you can decide your training format. So this is something I feel, with this absolutely my opinion. So one coach who can really track your progress, who can understand you, especially the decision making part of you as a player, what exactly you need, and under pressure how well you cope up, with the different decision making process. All these things matter when a coach is behind you. Other than that, every both has its pros and cons. So we'll go with the very last question. If anyone wants to talk about the last question, otherwise, Jivi Bhaiya, my last question to you. What do you think? How do you think a coaching should develop in India?
So you see, in the beginning only we talked about this. See, number of players have increased, so number of coaches also should increase. So what I feel is there are a lot of players in top 50 in the world from India. So you need to have certain coaches there in the top 50. From 50 to 100, you need to have another set of coaches who are taking care of that. And from 100 to 200, you need another set of coaches who are able to, so that all the three stages can be worked simultaneously.
Yeah,
So if someone so can shift to from 100 to 200 to that 50 to 100, then 50 to 100 can shift to top 50. So this will make sure that there are number of players consistently playing. Otherwise, what will
yeah,
happen? Players will come and go because there are not adequate number of coaches there to help them. So
yeah,
it is my personal feeling. I'm not saying it should be done. It's my personal opinion that there should be certain set of things where the coaches should be there for all set of players who should be taking care of the top 50 in the world, and from 50 to 100 some coaches, and then 100 to 200 there should. So this will help them to get to that level. The transition will be very smooth from all the stages, from 100 to 200, from 100 to 50, and 50 to the top level.
yeah. Now, what do you think about the tournaments? Because I feel even the tournament structure also should be changed. Because if an under 15 player plays an under 15 and 17 sub junior tournament, so he has to spend 8 days in that tournament, 4 days for qualifying, and then 4 days for main draw if he comes to the main draw. Then that player will have spent his अपना पूरा पूंजी उसमें उड़ा देगा. I always felt that the tournament structure, the first top 50 will have a separate tournament, then 50 to 100 will have a separate tournament, 100 to 200 will have a separate tournament, and the top qualifiers will always keep growing higher and higher. That tournaments वो लोग बदलते जाएंगे, so that there is a clear indication and clear structure where these kind of players only participate in this, so that they don't spend too much energy and too much you know, resources. Even because for the parents to take them travel there 8 days, office mein chutti, it's very difficult. So somewhere if it comes to 3 days or 4 days with a different level of structures, so a lot of things will be in the right place. That's what I
You're
feel.
absolutely right, Mohit, because that is what I told in the beginning. The number of players have increased at the all levels, even the junior world level and the senior world level. So everything has to be planned according to that, so that the certain number of tournaments. So when we used to play there weren't much of the international tournaments.
Correct.
They were limited international tournaments. So we were able to plan the national tournament, the state tournament, and the international tournament. The number of tournaments have increased in the national level, state level, and the international level. So we have to plan accordingly to that. That is why in the beginning only we said the planning part has to be very carefully uh, done, so that that planned thing can be executed, and the
Yeah.
adaptability comes according to that. Because many a times, see what happens is player has performed well unexpectedly in some tournaments, so you have to adjust and check whether the next tournament he should be able to play or not.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
many a
That's a
times, so
true point.
these all things so many a times you need to adjust and adapt accordingly. Especially it is very tough for the parents, because they have to manage many things, the family,
Yes.
the training part, then the tournament part. Everything is has to be managed very, it's very tough. Only the only thing that the thing is that you can have a certain set of plans, then try to execute accordingly, following the things how the body of the person will be able to take.
Correct.
Suppose a 15-year-old, how he's able to play, is able to take that 15 and 17 both tournaments, or he's only able to take one tournament in a row.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's physically developed for that 15 years tournament, but he's not physically. Some of the players are physically built strong early. The physiological changes come early, so they're
Yes.
able to take
Yes.
both the tournaments. So you need to identify as a coach, and sit with the parents and make them understand this tournament is required currently to
Correct.
for the planning of the 52 weeks in a year. So
Yeah.
where we the in the beginning I said where we are now, we need to know, and by the end of 52
Yes.
weeks or maybe 104 weeks, where we'll be.
Yeah.
So where we are now is a very important factor, which we all need to understand as a coach, as a player, as a parent, and then from there you need to plan and execute.
Yeah. No, that's a very valid point. So I think there are no more questions from the viewers. So all the viewers who have been for the first time, please take a moment to go and hit the subscribe button for my channel so that I can bring more content, which is a big motivation for me. Thank you so much for doing that. So any last words, GB Bhaiya, before we end up the show?
I just want to say, playing and sport, both are a different thing. So we need to understand playing. Sports comes as a competition, playing comes as a fun. So we need to understand these both things. If we are if are getting mixed, the players, the parents, and the coach all will get confused. That is that is what my is final say. Rest everything, you need to enjoy what you are doing.
Yeah.
The results may come and may not come. So you have to just keep working hard and enjoy.
Absolutely. Thank you for such a wonderful sharing of your knowledge, GB Bhaiya. It's almost 3 decades, close to 32 years, as you said.
Yeah, yeah.
That was so well said, and so many things you have put across from your perspective. So I think on behalf of the whole community and the viewers side, thank you so much for making your time again, and I'll keep
Thank you
inviting
so
you.
much.
We'll do more
Yeah,
sessions
thank you.
like this so that this experience has to be shared so that parents and players also understand what is the real scenario and what is the real reality of coaches and parents, how it should be. And this is something my vision is. I wouldn't say that's completely a vision, but this is my interest to spread as much as knowledge and as much as education, education from the real people and the real experts from our industry, and let people know that sport is not a joke. As you said now, very well said, it's not a playing. A sport is a proper education itself. That today we see that we give that proper education to our players and children, and they become the best people in our society. So that was my intent. So, and
Absolutely,
thank you again
absolutely correct.
so much.
Absolutely correct, Mohit, and you're doing a great job, great and fantastic job, trying to spread knowledge and aware the players and the parents. I think who are joined and who will be able to, who are unable to join with us because of some work and all, and they will be able to see this video. I hope we both me and Mohit are able to help you in whatever way we
Absolutely.
can. And thank you, thanks a lot, Mohit, for inviting me. It's pleasure. You
Yes.
made my off day a great day.
No, Satish Vadivelu is also saying part two. Yes, you let us know what kind of topics you want to listen. We will definitely inculcate on the part two somewhere, maybe by next month, and whenever GB Bhai is free, we'll definitely do a part two on that. So you let us know what kind of topics you want us to cover. So thank you so much, GB Bhai. See
Thank
you
you, Sir
soon in
Shadish.
the tournaments.
Thank you, Mohit. Yeah, sure. Take care. Bye.
Okay, take care. Bye. Oh, that was fantastic, right? All of you, it was a great show. I really enjoyed well. So there are two things which I really take away. The first one was recently he said about playing is different and sport is different. So I face a lot. This is not an issue, but this is something reality I face a lot. That parents think that going for 6 months of coaching, they'll suddenly become a champion. No, that's not. That'll not happen. As you saw in the first stages in this interview, in this show, that GB Bhaiya was explaining that there are three phases: beginners, intermediate, and advanced. So they go through the transition phase, and they have to develop a lot. Children have to develop a lot. It takes 10 years to become an international player. There are so many things you can go back and you can listen. And the second part was, he mentioned at the first that the transition, about coach also has to go through that transition, that he has to come back to basic and then learn how to coach, how to talk, be an effective communicator. You have to show that motivation to children, do the right things at the right time. So these are all very important, small but very effective and important factors and aspects of coaching. That is one thing I took away. So please go to my channel, subscribe, and we will see you soon in the next time. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video to your friends and family, so that from the community, sporting community, we develop and we educate people about sports. That's the thing. Until then, have a nice weekend, have a nice week ahead. And today is Monday, because the whole week has to be really great, positive, and entertaining. Until then, see you. Bye bye.